Silence doesn't feel dangerous. That's why it works. No alarms go off. No one warns you. Nothing breaks. Life simply stays the same. And at first, that feels good. You wake up. You do what you always do. You go where you always go. You avoid what feels hard. You delay what feels uncomfortable. And you tell yourself a comforting lie. I'm okay for now. But the most dangerous traps don't feel like traps. They feel like comfort. Your comfort zone doesn't attack you. It doesn't pressure you. It doesn't scare you. It whispers. Rest a little longer. You can start tomorrow. There's still time. You deserve to relax. And because nothing hurts immediately, you listen. Days turn into weeks. Weeks into years. And slowly, without pain, without noise, your potential begins to rot. This is not a story about failure. This is a story about stagnation. Because most people don't fail loudly. They fade quietly. They don't collapse. They settle. They don't quit life. They compromise it. This is a story of a man who felt safe, but was slowly losing himself. He had routines. He had habits. He had excuses that sounded reasonable. He wasn't struggling enough to change. And he wasn't growing enough to feel proud. So he stayed. In the same patterns. The same mindset. The same version of himself. And the comfort zone smiled. Because comfort doesn't need bars. It doesn't need locks. It doesn't need force. It only needs your permission. Comfort always charges a price. Not up front. Later. Comfort steals your discipline first. You stop pushing yourself. You stop challenging your limits. You stop doing the hard things that once made you feel alive. Then comfort steals your confidence. Because confidence is built through effort. Through resistance. Through proving to yourself that you can endure discomfort. When effort disappears, confidence fades. Then comfort steals your identity. You forget who you were trying to become. You forget what excited you. You forget the hunger you once had. You start defining your life by what feels easy, not by what feels meaningful. And the scariest part? You don't notice it happening. One day, something changes. Not dramatically. Not loudly. Just a moment. You see someone younger chasing a dream you abandoned. You hear a story that reminds you of who you could have been. You catch a glimpse of your reflection and feel disconnected. And for the first time, the comfort feels heavy. You realize time has been passing. And you've been standing still. You weren't lazy. You weren't weak. You were comfortable. And comfort slowly robbed you of urgency. Regret doesn't arrive screaming. It arrives whispering. You had time. You had ability. You just didn't move. This is where the real battle begins. Not outside. Inside. Because now you see the truth. But seeing the truth doesn't mean you'll act on it. Comfort fights back. It says, change is risky. What if you fail? What if it's too late? What if you lose what you already have? And fear joins the conversation. Fear of discomfort. Fear of judgment. Fear of starting over. But deep down, another voice awakens. A quiet one. The voice of who you were meant to be. And it asks one question. How long are you going to protect a life you don't even want? Discomfort has a bad reputation. We've been trained to avoid it. Escape it. Numb it. But discomfort is not punishment. It's information. It tells you where growth lives. It tells you where strength is built. It tells you where discipline is born. Everything you respect about yourself came from discomfort. Every skill. Every achievement. Every breakthrough. Comfort never built anything great. It only preserved what already existed. There comes a moment, quiet but powerful, where you must choose. Not between success and failure, but between comfort and growth. Between staying familiar and stepping into uncertainty. Between the pain of discipline and the pain of regret. Because one leads to regret, and the other leads to growth. Comfort will never leave you. You have to leave it. And the moment you do, life begins demanding more from you. but it also gives more back. Strength. Confidence. Pride. Not the loud kind. The quiet kind. The kind that lasts. Your comfort zone is quiet. That's why it's dangerous. It doesn't scream. It doesn't warn. It waits. And the longer you stay, the harder it becomes to leave. So don't wait for motivation. Choose discipline. Choose discomfort. Choose growth. Because one day, you'll either thank yourself for starting now, or regret that you didn't. If this message spoke to you, like the video. Subscribe to Life Empire Motivation. And remember, growth begins the moment comfort ends.